Okay, so I made a post on the Lose It subreddit the other day that kind of blew up that I didn't really expect would blow up. It was just like a quick before and after kind of a post about 200 pounds lost. I've made posts there before, and I figured I'd make another one just because I was pretty happy of hitting my milestone of 200 pounds lost. And I just quickly made the thread, and then I went out for the day to go hiking, and then I got a message about how my thread was blowing up. And over the course of a day, it got like 10,000 upvotes and like 400 comments. So what I wanted to do was actually make a video. I responded to most of the comments in the thread itself, and I'll post a link down below to the actual thread. But I just wanted to make a video actually addressing some of the questions that were asked. So sorry if this video goes long, but maybe some of you guys don't use Reddit. So I figured I would just kind of go over some of the questions. Now I'm going to actually edit this in Premiere, so we'll see how good I can get the questions to show up on screen. But the first one here is asking about if I know any BMI TEE calculators, and they're talking about maybe like a Plateau or something that they're running into. Ever since I've discovered it, my favorite BMR, basic metabolic rate, or TDE, total daily energy expenditure calculator, is at damnedrip.com. I think if you go to the fat loss calculator or just TEE calculator, they're the same one. The reason why I like theirs is not only is it like all the other ones where you put in your metrics, you put in your activity level and all that crap, but what it does that other calculators don't do that I've seen is you can input your caloric, either percentage or like amount of calories you want to be in a deficit. So like for me, I will put in my current weight that I want to be in a 2,000 calorie deficit every day, and it will give me a projected date as to when I will hit my goal weight. I really like that because that helps me know if I'm on target. Again, with weight loss, I like to use the if-then kind of like philosophy. If my numbers are right, if my discipline is right, then I should be hitting this weight loss goal at this rate. As soon as the rate doesn't match your numbers, then you know something is off. So you will see me preach that all the time. If I'm hitting my deficit, my weight loss should be this. If my weight loss is this, then my deficit is definitely not this. DamnRip.com, their calculator, helps me do that. It helps me calculate those projections very easily. And I will recalculate them usually week by week. So TEE calculator, BMR calculator, DamnRip.com, they're my favorite one. And then there's a question about loose skin. How am I managing that? Does it hurt? You can't really manage loose skin. There's not a whole lot you can do. Maybe a little Gold Bond powder in extra areas, and then compression skin if you feel like you're going to be very active. I used to wear compression clothing more. Funny enough. Now, maybe it's because I'm not going to the gym as much because, of course, they're closed. But yeah, I used to wear compression clothing more, and now I actually find myself wearing it very rarely. But that's really all you can do. You can keep it dry, you can wear clothing to keep it tight, or you can get it cut off. As far as managing loose skin, those are like your three options. The only real thing about loose skin is there comes a period that I really didn't come out of until maybe the last 30 pounds I've lost. Is it was really hard for me to separate what was loose skin and what was actually just like fat. The more I lose, the more obvious it becomes what is just skin, as opposed to just what's fat. But yeah, loose skin, not much you can do. And as far as loose skin, don't ever let loose skin hold you back from holding weight, because it is so much better than being fat. So much better. And then, does a smartwatch help? Absolutely. Now, smartwatch, I love my Fitbit. I noticed that, so I had a Fitbit Versa 1, which I used for the longest time. And when that broke, because I guess it got wet or something, but the screen stopped working, I had a period of a couple months where I just didn't have a smartwatch. I didn't have a Fitbit. I noticed, not necessarily, but because of the smartwatch, not having one, I stopped losing weight. there were also other things that were going on at the time, but yeah, I actually started to gain weight when I didn't have a Fitbit. The reason why smartwatches are good is it's a tool. Okay, I set a step goal of 15,000 steps, and it's a constant reminder that I need to be active. It's, if you can do that without the smartwatch, great, but it is a handy way to just track and remind yourself to stay active and log your food. If you can just wear a bracelet or ring, set an alarm on your phone to do the same thing for free, that's great. Is a Fitbit or a smartwatch necessary? No, but it helps. Everything helps. So yeah, I advocate a smartwatch, but don't fall under the guise that it's 100% accurate. Because my smartwatch says I burned 1,800 calories today, that's exactly right. No, it's a guesstimate, just like your BMR. And the steps are always a guesstimate, but it's the reminder. That's why they're super helpful. So I do advocate for one. At what point was I actually committed and know that I would stay committed? I quit too early all the time. So this is a really good question, and I don't want it to be confused with so to answer the question, at what point in the process was I actually committed? When I responded to this in Reddit, I said day one. Day one. When I decided to do this, I knew it was going to happen. I didn't know when it was going to happen. I just knew it was. I kept telling myself it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. The reason why I chose to lose weight was one I was committed to. I didn't know how long it was going to take, but I knew that, all the previous motivations I had were not nearly as strong as what I had now. This was overwhelmingly strong. I knew when I decided to just change, this was it. It was happening. That's why I say sometimes when I look at people who are telling me they want to lose weight or they want to reach a certain goal, you kind of don't really see full commitment from them. You can just kind of read a person and tell they're not always committed. At this point in time, when I first started, I knew. It was just like, it's like a switch goes off. I'm 100% committed. Now, 100% committed doesn't mean I'm perfect. Like I said, I had a period of 6 months where I maybe gained like 40 to 50 pounds back. Being committed doesn't mean you're perfect or you're infallible. It just means you will reach your goal at some point. You are committed to reaching it. Don't worry about if you have obstacles or you have hiccups. I told somebody, I think in response to this, nobody can commit 100%. Nobody is ever going to not cheat on their diet. Nobody is ever going to not miss a day at the gym. But just like when you're in school, if you get a 90%, you're still getting an A in the class. If you can even commit 90%, you're going to hit your goal and you're going to do it well. Just keep that in mind. I had days where I cheated. I had days where I went to McDonald's and ate 3,000 calories worth of food. For whatever reason, I did. I had periods where I ate pizza. I ate too much pizza. I drank regular pop. The point is, if you can be 90% consistent, 90% committed, you will get there. You don't have to be 100%. 90% is still A in the class. Out of genuine curiosity, do you know a difference in how you treat yourself when you're no longer morbidly obese? Do you have more respect for yourself? Yes, absolutely. You have so much more respect for yourself. Your entire mindset of how you treat yourself changes. You no longer tolerate bullcrap that you used to tolerate. And I don't even mean from other people, but I mean from yourself. It's really hard to convey that to somebody else who's in a position that I used to be, because when you're at a certain weight, that's just your homeostasis. That's life as you know it. You don't know it any differently. It's so hard to convey that feeling to somebody else. So in this post, I just said, you know what? Whatever you think life is going to be like when you hit your goal weight, it's actually going to be so much better than that. And that's really all I can tell you. It's better than what you think it'll be. And that's not even just with weight loss. That'd be with any goal you're trying to hit. And then what happened on Pi Day to give you that motivation? So again, my motivation actually came before the date. My motivation to lose weight was actually brewing for a couple of months before the official date, which was 3/14/18, to start losing weight. I just chose that stupid date because I know that's when all the pizza places have pizza for super cheap. And I was like, all right, Ryan, You're going to have a shit ton of pizza. You're going to absolutely hate the fact that you're going to have a shit ton of pizza and pop that day. But after that, you're done. You're flipping the switch. This is like your last hurrah of your old life of just eating garbage ass food and then making the switch from then on. So pie day was just because I wanted a bunch of cheap pizza, and that was really about it. But the reason that I wanted to change was really like leading up to that point, maybe like 2 or 3 months, maybe like in early February, I kind of decided when like that I was going to change. I just kind of, followed that, I'll start in a couple of days, I'll start in a month. And then it just got to a point where it's like, all right, I'm drawing the line here. From here on, we're different. 3/14, that's the day. And how did you deal with stretch marks? Don't worry about them. Everybody has stretch marks. Fat people, skinny people, muscular people, pregnant women, everybody has stretch marks. Nobody cares about stretch marks. Nobody cares. If you don't point them out, most people won't even notice. Nobody cares. I have them all over. You get them from going from small to big and then big to small. Don't worry about them. What was your reason? A girl. Not even a girl who was in the end really worth it, but when you talk to guys, I spent a lot of time at the gym, and funny enough, when you talk to guys of why they wanted to improve their physical fitness, it's either a girl or girls. It's either they're chasing a girl or they broke up with a girl. It's something along that lines. For me, man, it was just one, and then that one just changed into a different one, and the other one was so much more better. It was so much more worth it. Story's still out on that one, but yeah, timeless reason. Did you find any low impact fitness routines that helped? Did you simply just walk a lot? Also, congratulations. So when starting out, it was kind of mostly just walking. Depending on what your activity level is, mine was virtually zero. I would get up and spend most of the time right here in this chair in front of the computer. So my activity level was virtually zero. If you're just starting out, any activity is better than none. Walking, biking, elliptical, you could just do very little. You could do 15 minutes a day, and that is significantly better than what you're doing now. The reason why I like walking and I like cycling is I don't need high intensity cardio. I don't like it. You see people go to the gym and they burn themselves out their first day, their first week, their first month, and they don't stick with it. If it's relatively easy or moderate intensity, you're more inclined to keep doing it. I like going for walks. I don't mind walking 2 or 3 hours because I get to listen to music that I like for a long time. I get to think to myself, or I get to listen to an audiobook. And I do it just to kind of burn time. Like, I don't mind. I don't know why people don't like going for long walks or long cycles. Everybody wants to do their really rapid cardio in 15 minutes. They want to do HIIT training because they act like they have so many other things to do throughout their day. Just do whatever's consistent. Low impact, walking, biking, do the elliptical if you can go to the gym. Just do whatever works for you. What worked for me may not work for you. What works for you may not work for me. I like to just go out the door, walk for 2 or 3 hours and come back. Walking is great. Cycling, sometimes I like to cycle, sometimes I like to walk. What do I do on the days I feel lost or discouraged? Keep doing what you need to do. I forget who it was. It might have been Swolenormous, Papa Swolio. It could be anybody in the fitness industry. It's really easy to go to the gym or stay on diet when you want to. It's super easy. You might be motivated to go to the gym 1 day a week. Are you just going to go 1 day a week? No, because you won't get any results. You need to go on the days you don't want to go. You need to go walking on the days you don't want to walk. You need to eat on diet most of the time on days you don't want to, because consistency will get you results. I don't always want to go for a walk. Hell no. Not always. Sometimes it's too hot. Sometimes I don't have the energy, but I still go. You have to. It's easy to do it when you want to, but the days you don't want to are the days you need to. And then I just put here like I understand Nike's slogan now. Just do it. Just fucking do it. You don't want to do it, just do it anyways. You're gonna live your whole life doing a bunch of line of shit you don't want to do. Why not do the stuff you don't want to do that at least benefits you, right? We all do stuff we don't want to do. But I'm gonna go for that walk because it benefits me. It gets me closer to my goal. What exercises did I do and what foods do I eat? This is kind of something that people worry about too much. It really doesn't matter what exercises I did. The exercises are irrelevant. I could tell you right now, my gym routine was shit. I would overtrain all the time. I would do full body workouts 4 or 5 days a week. I would do upper and lower body. I rarely isolated muscle groups. Rarely. I would just isolate upper, lower body most of the time. I didn't do any set amount of reps. I really never did progressive overload. I would kind of mentally track my progressive overload, but I would never like log any of it. Just, there was some guy in the gym when I first started who was a bodybuilder. As long as you're here, you're doing better than most. That's true. Just go to the gym, work out, go exercise outside, cycle. You know what to do. You don't need a specific routine, anything like that. And what foods did I eat? Healthy foods. I stopped eating crap. I stopped drinking regular soda. I stopped eating pizza, burritos, fast food. I get fast food once every couple of months, maybe. Ice cream, any of that crap. Milk, I don't drink none of that. It's not a secret. That's what I made in the post here. There's no secret. You know what to do. When I first started losing weight, that's what you kind of do. Is you do like information overload. You do as much research as possible because you're looking for the quick fix. We already know what you have to do. Eat less, eat better, and move more. That's it. Doesn't get any more complex than that, really. It only gets more complex than that if you want it to be more complex than that. And then how's the difference in everyday feel? Indescribable. Complete 180. Being 200 pounds less. I don't think, I've thought about this when I was at the gym. I was like, man, if I were to pick up some of these 45 pound plates, at which point now I would have to carry 4 of them, 2 in each hand. I don't know how far I could walk with extra 200 pounds in my body. It's indescribable. It really is. That's really the only way I could say it. How's the difference in everyday feel? So much better. Better than you knew it could. And then, see, here's like another, this is like another like longer question. Can I ask how I got started? Long story short, I just did dietary corrections for the first 6 months. I cut out all the bad food. I didn't really have a good diet per se. There was like, I was still eating crap. I remember there was a week where I just had a bowl of cereal for like a day. Like for the whole week. And now that I look back, it's like, yeah, that's 500 calories, but it's like a bunch of sugar and just milk. That was really bad because you cut calories too much, you're more likely to binge at some point at the end and just negate all the calorie deficit you did. So you it's a lot of trial and error. Googling workouts. Yeah, I kind of did that. I would look up workouts at like bodybuilder.com or something. Just start small. It's really the only recommendation I guess make. It's just baby steps, man. It's trial and error. It doesn't really matter what diet you do, as long as you stick with a diet. You know, go keto, go vegetarian, go vegan, go carnivore, go paleo, go whatever. Just stick with it. That's really all you can do. And then as far as exercise, just baby steps, man. Just do slightly more than you're doing now, and then you will slowly ramp it up. The whole thing about like health and fitness, it's like quitting cigarettes, man. If somebody tries to go cold turkey, they're more likely to fail. Just wean yourself into health and fitness, and you're more likely to stick with it, in my opinion. And then this is kind of the same question. A similar question. What about mentally? What made me want to change? What kept you going? What was the driving emotion, event, goal, force behind it all? Again, it was just some cute girl over the internet at the time. We were good friends, and it was like, man, if I ever want this thing to ever happen, like what I used to be has to become something else. Because if you don't accept yourself, how can you ever expect anybody else to accept you? And bottom line, that's what it was. If I don't accept myself, why would I expect anybody else to? So I kind of broke my delusion of what my life was and what I was settling for. And then I was just like, you know what? Nah, I'm going to go for the life I want. And at the time, that's the life I wanted. Is it the life I want now? No. And like I said, yeah, I'd like to rekindle that friendship someday. Just to be like, hey, look, you kind of like inspired this change. Just, you know. But I really don't care. But yeah, long story short, a girl. That's the motivation part of it. But motivation only gets you started. It's discipline that gets you from 0 to 100, right? Everybody always says, oh, I wish I had your motivation. My motivation was a girl, and I had lost my motivation like 6 months into it. But I've been going for over 2 years, so I have not been fueled off motivation. I've been fueled off discipline. Motivation will come and go. I really appreciate you said just like how it is. I'm always trying to find the easy way out when it comes to weight loss. Yeah, everybody is. But the truth of the matter is you have to start from day one and dig in and not stop. That's true. Don't stop. Tell yourself you are going to achieve this. That's what you need. And, you know, the whole thing I just mentioned about motivation is you can get different forms of motivation throughout what you're trying to achieve. Originally, I started for a girl, and then later on it developed into a different girl, a much more powerful source of motivation. But I don't even still have that anymore. So it's still, bottom line, discipline is what you need. Always. And then here's just a comment. Yeah, there's no secret to this. You know what you need to do. You know what you need to do. You don't need to buy books. You don't need to get workout routines. You don't need to jump into keto. You don't need to like worry about, oh, I can't have carbohydrates. You don't need to go over exercise. Just, baby steps. And working out and dieting will seem like a chore, but you'll really grow to like it. Like I said, I made a post, I forget where, but when I started the diet plan that I'm on now, which was a month ago, I started having salads, and I've never hated salads, but I am now at the point where I had dressing that was 160 calories per serving, and I get super excited when I find another dressing I like that's 25 calories a serving. That is like, I'm just happy because it's like, wow, I get to eat more food and I'm still in a bigger caloric deficit because I like to browse the store now and look for food that like it becomes fun, I guess, to go to the store and go through the produce aisle and just go through different foods and look for alternatives that are better than what you're eating before. And I was making that suggestion to somebody else in Twitch who said they're drinking 8 to 12 cans of pop a day. Like, okay, if you're wanting to cut pop, it would be ridiculous for me to say you should drop to 0 cans. But maybe just drop it 1 or 2, switch to diet, maybe just little changes, and then eventually you'll get there. Going 180 is never going to work. And then like exercising used to be a chore. When I first started going to the gym, I was like 15 minutes of cardio for my warm-up. That's crazy, man. I would rarely ever do 15 minutes on the treadmill. And then now it's like, oh, I like walking for 3 hours. I'm not going to lie, I hate treadmills. Treadmills suck. Being inside a gym looking at nothing sucks. I will much rather be out in the dark on the pavement looking at just the road than a treadmill. But you will slowly actually start to enjoy it because you're like, wow, this is benefiting me in ways that I can like tell. I'm seeing changes, I'm feeling changes, and I'm feeling better every time I do this. So yeah, it'll seem like a chore at first, but you'll learn to love it. You will learn. And then here's a post about a Plateau where he's lost 35 pounds and he's not sure why he's plateaued. Now, saying you're not sure why you've plateaued, I've told myself the same thing. And deep down, if we're not sugarcoating it, you know why you've plateaued. You've plateaued. Well, let me say this. I know why I plateaued. I plateaued because I got comfortable at the weight that I was at. Yeah, I lost a ton of weight, but I got comfortable eating at maintenance for the weight I was at. And in my mind, I was eating like 2 pounds of broccoli a day with like an entire container of hummus. And I enjoyed that. and I plateaued for like 3 or 4 months. And of course, in your mind, you're like, well, I don't understand. Why am I not dropping weight? I'm eating just broccoli and hummus and I'm still working out. But in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, but I'm not really tracking calories. This hummus is kind of really high in calories. I'm not really doing any cardio. I'm really just resistance training. You're not pushing yourself as hard as you know you can. That's what it really is. If you're plateaued, you know why. You're either eating too much, you're either not tracking, or you're not tracking accurately, or you're not eating at a deficit which is below your BMR, or you're just simply not working as hard as you know you can. You could do more. And trust me, once you wake up and you're like, you know what? Hey, I didn't start losing weight to be stuck at this weight. You're just going to be like, all right, we're going to reevaluate our numbers and we're going to push forward. That's kind of what's happened to me over the last couple of weeks. And that's why the weight is just shredding off, because I am now taking it more seriously as I get closer to my goal weight than I probably ever have, because I just got sick of being at the weight that I was at. Not even my starting weight, but just the weight I was at 3 months ago. I'm done. I didn't come all this way to get stuck there. And then really that's kind of it as far as I have for posts. This video is probably running on a bit long, but I just wanted to answer some of these. I will still be making a 200-pound lost video soon with other questions that I had people ask me, but I just wanted to make one over this Reddit post. So that's it. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.